And we are live. Welcome, welcome everybody to Sisters United. Live. Sorry for the delay. I had some technical issues, but we are here. And our topic this week is how to be prepared for abundance, how to be prepared for success. Okay, it may seem intuitive, but a lot of you might be actually preparing for the exact opposite and not realizing that's what you're doing. So that's what we're going to be diving into: how to be prepared for success, how to be prepared for abundance, not the opposite of that. All right, I'm going to go across the board and welcome everybody here. We're each gonna go in and introduce ourselves a little bit. And those of you that are watching, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching in the replay, shout out below. Let us know where you are, what part of the world you're watching from, and we'll actually be going in during the week and talking to you as well. So feel free, even though you might be in the replay, that our intention is that you're actually here, and this is very interactive. So, but if you are here live and watching, definitely shout out below. So I am Valerie Jampolsky. I am the Abundance Mom Freedompreneur from Abundance Now, and I am a single mom. I've got twin 6-year-old boys, and I am here. I do what I do here. I'm part of this incredible freedom movement, so that I can have freedom, so I can actually be home with my kids. So that I used to be an entertainment attorney, actually, and I had decided to have my kids on my own. And I remember, it's funny you think about it, I call it the golden handcuffs, right? I used to be rather miserable at what I did. And I had this epiphany when I was pregnant with the twins, sitting in my office, realizing that there was, that if I didn't do something, I was hardly ever going to see my kids. I never mind daycare, they'd be in preschool, after school, I'd have nannies with them, I'd rarely, if ever, see my kids. And so I knew that if I wanted to be with them and see them, and really have quality, not just tuck them in at night and maybe a few hours on the weekend, like most people do, I needed to make a switch. I needed to do something. And I knew that I remember there was something so much more. It just became really, really apparent for me that there was so much more that I could give in the world, so much more that I could do and really make a difference. And I love talking about abundance. I love talking about personal development. I love inspiring people into some of the topics that we do here, like the topic we have today, about how to prepare for your abundance. Well, I'll dig into that in a bit, but I wanted to welcome you all here. And notice that below this, if you're watching this, there is a button that you can connect and link on, and you can actually be involved with what we do. So whoever invited you to this page, you'll be able to connect with our community, connect into our freedom movement, and find out what's going on, and actually get started with us and get the information that you need about what the heck it is that we do. So welcome to all of you, and I'm so excited for everybody that's here. And I'm going to pass it on over, and I'm in Los Angeles. It's now about 7:45 in the morning. Okay, pass it over to CJ.
Hey, thanks, Mama. Appreciate it. Yeah, hey, I'm in Florida. It's about 10:45 for me in the morning on a Monday, and I am a stay-at-home homeschool mama. I have 3 boys. They are 9, 6, and 4. They are nonstop. They're into everything, and I love every moment of it. For me, it was not always this much fun with my children, and I was not always part of their life. I used to work for corporate America. I worked in the health industry for 14 years, and I did the 12 to 16-hour days, Monday through Saturday. My only days off were Sundays, so I was really not part of their life, and I was not watching them grow up. I was not partaking in their activities of life, and I wanted to have them enjoy life. I wanted them to experience life. I wanted my children to be who they are meant to be, not be told who to be or how to live their lives. So once I found this community of wonderful moms and sisters, I knew I was in the right place. I knew I was where I needed to belong. I knew that I had the right support system around me, and to allow my family to be who we are, and to allow my children to be who they are and who they want to be. And I make daily memories with them. There's no moment that goes by that's missed. Every moment I'm with them, every memory I'm with them. We do everything spur of the moment. There's no having to plan weeks out in advance, and that's really what this is about. And that's what being freedom and having freedom about is doing what you want, when you want, and however you want to do it without having to take time off or schedule weeks in advance or or have a transformer come into the picture. But it's just about being who we are when we want to be and enjoying that moment and enjoying the life that we have, because each day changes and you never know what the next day will bring to you. So be there for your children and be there for your why and live your dreams each and every day.
And I think you said you're in Florida. You told everybody?
Yes.
I can't remember.
Yes, I did, hon.
Okay, cool. My brain was like, distracted by the transformer. Okay.
Power transformed.
Transformed, exactly. Okay. Now we're going to literally go across the pond over to Arena.
Hi, ladies. Well, happy Monday.
Yeah.
I'm always waiting for the Mondays to be here with you girls, with you ladies, because I just love to be a part of this community, of this movement of freedom. My name is Irina. I'm speaking from Portugal. It's almost 4 p.m. for me in the afternoon, and I'm a mother that works from home. I have one boy, 2 years old. And I have to say that I am delighted to have the possibility to spend quality times with my boy, with my family. You see, I was an attorney just like Valerie, and I decided when I became a mother that I had the moral obligation to be my best version and to be happy, because I wasn't happy by being an attorney. I wasn't fulfilled in my profession. I was just doing it because the society told me that that was the way, that was the right way for me. I remember when I was a child, my mother and grandmother to tell me, go to the university, go to college, because if you study, you will be someone. You will have a diploma and you will fulfill your dreams. Well, so I did it. I went to college. I went to university. I took my degree, and when I started to work, I realized that I was living a nightmare. I was with the golden in a golden cage because because I had a great profession, but I wasn't happy. I woke up every morning feeling sad and frustrated, and just by thinking well, in Monday mornings when I thought that I had to go to work for a whole week until the next weekend, I was very frustrated because I wasn't happy, you know. So when I became a mother, I decided that I had to find a solution. I had to find a way to really fulfill my dreams, to really feel good about my days and who I was. So I found this movement that I'm very grateful for, and I'm looking forward to see you here with us on these hangouts on this side, because I think if you are seeing this hangout or this replay, there's something, there's a seed inside of your heart that is telling you that this is your way. Yes, this is your place also.
Yeah.
Thank you, Valerie.
Absolutely. And I forget, did you say where you're at? That you're in Portugal?
Yes, from Portugal. Yeah.
Yeah, she said it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Monday, so she's having a fantastic Monday.
Yes, awesome.
Yeah.
I went to the beach this morning, so I'm very happy for the life that I'm living.
Oh, how beautiful.
That's great. And now over to Sheila. And Sheila, you guys, everybody has heard us talking about Sheila. We were talking about how much you've been helping CJ. So, and now here she is, Sheila in the flesh, joining us for the first time. United. Welcome.
Hi. Yes, I am Sheila, and I'm from Alexandria, Minnesota. And I am, yes, the one that they've talked about. I drove down to Florida just to help CJ because that's what I do. That's who I am. And but I am a full-time wife and mom, and I have a beautiful blended family. My daughter is 16, my stepson is 13, and my husband and I's youngest is 9, almost 10 in April here. He's already counting down the days to be in double digits. I do not homeschool my kids, though, so because I started late in this game. But my past history is actually when my daughter was 2, I was working full-time as a secretary outside of the home, and I'd have to actually wear a second layer of clothing just to peel her off of me when I left her at daycare. And that caused a problem. So I actually quit the daytime job and started my own daycare, because that way I knew I could still be home with her and provide for my children. As time went on and I had my last baby, I actually had back problems and had to leave daycare because I couldn't even carry the babies anymore. And thought, my kids are old enough, they're in school, I should be able to go back to work. So I went back to work outside of the home, and it was a great job. I really enjoyed it, except for come 3 o'clock in the day when my kids would be getting home from school, I was still at work. And I felt like I was a split personality. I always wanted to be home when I was at work, but I always wanted to be at work when I was at home. I never had focused directly on either one of the 2 places. And then my daughter got to a point where teenage years, and she was struggling with her grades and throwing her hands in the air and said she was sick of it. For me, that was the last straw, because a lot of people say, well, she's a teenager, she's going through emotions, she'll get over it, she's just saying things for attention. Well, I can't go off of that, because when I was a teenager, I did attempt suicide, not once, but twice. And I have the scars to prove it. I was not going to take any chances of something happening to her because I wasn't home. So I joined this freedom movement, and now I get to be home with my kids. When they get home from school, I'm here. If they need something during the day, a school function, I can just drop everything and go. It's okay. Like helping CJ out, that's who I am. I have to be there for people. And if I can help someone else find their freedom movement, that's who I am and where my focus is.
That's powerful. That is so powerful, Sheila. That is so powerful. Yeah, and and I'm blessed to have people like you. That's the thing, to people like you in our community and our movement. It's so beautiful, so beautiful. Yeah, and it's like, and that's the thing for me. One of the reasons I homeschool as well is because I was severely. I also homeschool, but for me, one of the reasons to do this is I want to be around my kids, because I was bullied. I was heavily bullied as a child, and yeah, a lot of people don't speak it, but I made my first attempt when I was 10 years old on my own life, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be around my kids. I'm going to be around my kids. I'm going to make sure I'm around my kids, so that is, where they learn to have a completely different view on life, and that's just it, and to help others, help that, help the freedom for that. So I want to dive into our topic here, which is, how to prepare for abundance and how to prepare for success, and and it's like, whether you have kids or not, right? Because we do have another hangout. We have Mom Freedompreneurs. We actually alternate every week, by the way. This hangout will be here 2 weeks from now, but next week, if you connect into our community, we alternate this with what we call the Mom Freedompreneurs, where it's all moms. Here, sometimes we're all moms, sometimes we're not, okay? But a lot of people, they may not realize what they're doing, but they're subconsciously, and this is something they may have been raised with and not even realized it, or they just pick it up from the media, but a lot of people, in fact, most people, don't prepare for abundance. They don't prepare for success. They're actually preparing for failure. They're preparing for the worst case scenario, and they don't even realize it. They don't even realize that's what they're doing. For me, that's what I realized. I realized that I was actually spending my life preparing for the worst case scenario, right? I would sit there. I mean, I don't know how many of you in the past have sat there and started to worry about how you were going to pay your bills, okay? Worry about how you're going to pay your bills, or worry about a particular situation, or worry about, maybe, you're looking at a business, or you start a business, and you're worried about what to do if it doesn't work, what to do if it's not a success, okay? And sit there and imagine, okay, well, like I'm going to go into the bills one. For some of you that may be watching, this might resonate with you. When you're sitting there and you're going, well, I'm worried, I don't know if I'll be able to pay this bill. So when this bill when this bill comes in, maybe I could just pay this one and not pay that one, or I'll time this one out, or they just, or they're, they're wanting to hit a particular goal, and they're like, well, what if I don't hit the goal? What if I don't hit the goal? So what will happen in my life if I don't hit the goal? And then they start imagining not hitting the goal, not achieving the goal, not having the success, okay? Not having the abundance. For those people that are like into visualization, and this is a missing key, by the way. For those of you that do practice the law of attraction, this is one of the biggest missing pieces that people don't get on this, right? And for those of you who don't even know what the law of attraction is, we'll be talking about it. But when you are, what happens is, you go into you imagine the situation of not achieving it, right? And the emotions and the feelings with that. And usually, like if someone was to start thinking about it, there's stress. Stress starts raising because stress it's a negative feeling about, and what we call worry. Worry is actually a nickname that we have given to planning for the worst case scenario, right? So you're sitting there imagining these things, not succeeding, right? And several things happen. Vibrationally, go into a very negative spot. So what happens is you're literally a vibratory match to the thing you're worried about. Those of you that understand the work of the law of attraction, which focus goes where was attention goes, energy flows where attention goes. So if you're focusing on what's going to happen when you don't succeed, right, and that worst case scenario, then what happens is your vibration matches that. That's what you're attracting on a vibratory level. You are literally attracting to yourself the worst case scenario. You're literally attracting to yourself not succeeding, not having abundance, right? And another thing happens, toxic chemicals are released into your body when you do that. That's what happens when you're in a place of worry, fear, doubt, all that. Toxic chemicals are released, which then shuts off the left and right hemisphere of your brain from properly talking to each other, which shuts off your ability to be in your frontal cortex, which is all where creativity sits. It's where it's where resourceful sits, where all of that sits. For those of you that understand what this is, the pineal gland, all of that in there, no access, shut down. And where are you? If that part of the brain isn't working, you're in the old reptilian brain, the primitive brain, the fight or flight center. Run from the tiger, chase the tiger. I'm and in this space of, well, if I can't do this, and if this doesn't work, I got to figure out how I'm going to do things, and I got to plan for this. I got to figure out, okay, all right, let me just get dressed. Let me just get dressed for work. Let me just get dressed for work. Let me just, make a coffee, a cup of coffee. Okay. I'll just get myself dressed. I'll just get myself to work, and, he's driving me, listen to some music, maybe that'll feel better. Maybe I'll feel better. Okay, I'm at work. Okay. Oh God, okay, I gotta do this, all right, let me just, let's just focus on this, and, and when you get home, it's like, we'll just like make some dinner, so watch some TV maybe, and just like, how many people, and I kind of did an emotional, might resonate with having done that, and we live in a place of survival, where you just kind of function, where you do what you can do to numb yourself from the pain and the panic that happens from planning for the worst case scenario. And literally can't think straight, cannot see. Any of you have seen children go through this, you understand what I'm talking about. Where a kid's freaking out about not being able to do something, can't think straight. We literally can't think straight. And we think we're functioning. And a lot of us are high functioning. I was a high functioning, panicking person, just surviving. At job that I hated, in a situation, or worried, or even if you like your job, maybe panicking about how you're going to be surviving, and so rather than think about it, we distract ourselves with TV, or with some people with drugs or with alcohol, or just whatever it is, right? And since everybody else is also in that panic mode and they're somehow surviving and being distracted by, gossip or whatever, we think it's normal. We think it's normal to live like that because most people live like that. And then they wonder why month after month after month they're not living their dreams. They're literally living their nightmare of whatever it is. They're whatever the situation, they're living the situation where they don't have the sales, or they don't have the they're struggling to get from paycheck to paycheck instead of having more than enough money to do what they want to do and to make plans and to do things and live their dreams. Whereas the exact opposite happens when you allow yourself, and we're going to get into some of the techniques of how to allow yourself to do this, but when you allow yourself to actually prepare for abundance, prepare for success, meaning look for the best case scenario, plan for the best success. We have all kinds of exercises we do where we're actually visualizing our goals and seeing ourselves achieving them and taking action steps, planning action steps of what to do instead of planning how you're going to handle it when you don't have the money to pay your bills. Plan your dream. Plan your dream and plan the actions that you're going to take and asking yourself questions like, how can I make this happen? For example, there's an amazing event coming up, right? And a lot of us, have tickets. We're going to the event. And, when I first started this business, I had gotten to such a place in my life because I was actually I'd made the decision to be home with my kids, and then 6 months into my maternity leave, the studio goes bankrupt. I used to work for MGM. It went bankrupt and laid everybody off in my department, and I was at home. And I'd gotten into a panic place, so I was looking for all these things to try to be at home, to stay at home, and I was worried. I was worried about whether or not it was going to work. And this business didn't even exist. This freedom movement did not exist. So I was doing all these other things, and by the time I came across this freedom movement, I'd lost everything. I had nothing left. And so when I was diving into this, when I first started, I really wanted to get to the event. I wanted to get to the event and be around other people, because one thing I had learned was when you're around others, when you're surrounded by successful people, you're around the positive energy, it helps to stay in the positive perspective. Plus you learn. And and the opposite happens. When you're in a positive space, tonic chemicals are released into your body. The left and right hemisphere of your brain really work well together. You're in the frontal cortex, you're in creativity, you're in all that space, right? And you're literally a vibratory match for the abundance that's always being given. Instead of creating a block to it, instead of creating like walls of doubt and fear and worry, which literally stop your ability from seeing straight and literally stop the abundance that's already there from actually being manifest in your environment. It's like it's there. It's like I'll give the analogy. Who here, have you guys been in like really, really heavy fog or really heavy smog, really heavy fog, where you can't see more than like a couple feet in front of you? Okay. All right. Now you logically know, right? Like maybe you're at the beach and you can't, like for here in Los Angeles, we have these mountains. And when it's really foggy or smoggy, we actually have smog. The air is so bad you can't even see the mountains. I mean, it's like literally they're there, but you can't see them. That's what when you're in a place of fear and doubt and worry and planning for the worst case scenario, the thoughts that are in your face are like literally obstacles to actually seeing. When the fog lifts, you can see the beauty that's right in front of you. When we have a wonderful rain and wind, which doesn't happen so much in LA, but when it does happen, the smog lifts, and you can see the mountains. The mountains have always been there. And everybody, Los Angelinos, are walking around going, oh, wow, it's so beautiful. It's like they've always been there. It's always been there. But couldn't see what was right in front of our noses because of the fog. The negative thoughts literally cloud our judgment. They cloud our ability to see and to take inspired action, right? And so, and that's why a lot of what we do in our movement is we help people to shift their perspective, and we're constantly reminding. We have events that do that. We have audios that do that. We have community here that do that, and we stay in community. We keep each other accountable to our best case scenarios. What goals do you want? What it is that you're going for? But dealing with, catching those thoughts that say, oh, what if I can't? Well, let me just plan this. What if I can't? Well, let me just plan if it doesn't work. Those of you that are in business, if you're planning not to have sales, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to get sales. If you're planning on, it's having a shift of awareness into the exact opposite, focusing on what you do want. So anyways, back to the story here so I wanted to get to this event. And we have an exercise that we work with that helps you to actually, where you can actually manifest resources out of thin air is one of the things that we have. We have so many different things. But I was working with that, and as I was working with it, part of the exercise, not all of it, but was to actually ask yourself a question, Google your mind, and say, how can I do this? How did I do this? What can I do? When you start asking yourself, what can you do? See, we use our powerful imaginations to where we ask ourselves, what can I do if I don't have the money to pay my bills? Right? What can I do if this doesn't work? We're doing this. We're naturally doing this, but we don't realize it. We're doing it. We're doing it in the negative direction. Take the same imagination, the same powerful imagination, where you're thinking in detail about what's going to happen when you can't pay your bills, when you can't have more than enough money to actually decide to go on that vacation whenever you want, or to travel, or be there for that friend in need, or be there for our kids, right? Or that family member that needs us. When you ask yourself, what can I do? You will find the answer. Like Googling the brain, you will find the answer. So I did this, and I said, okay, and I bought my ticket without having any clue how the heck I was going to get to the event. I bought my ticket, and I had no way. I mean, my bank account had nothing. I had just started the business that I'm in. My bank account had nothing left. So that wasn't it. I had no savings. I had no nothing. I had all this stuff. And I was like, how can I do this? And I took actions. I did some kooky things. I said pack. I started packing because it was about a week away. I started doing things. I started planning for the event that I was actually doing this. And long story short, another time when you're with us in community, I can tell you exactly the full story of what I actually did to make this happen. But out of thin air, within 24 hours, I had airline tickets for myself and my kids, and I had hotel covered. I had everything, right? When you open yourself up to how can I do it, the universe responds. You're literally open up yourself to inspired action, because there's always an internal broadcast of brilliant ideas. We just have to open ourselves up to it, within and without, to access it. And it's that process, and we teach you a lot of that in details in our community and in our movement. We actually get into great detail in it. But for me, for those of you, by the way, that are watching, are planning to come to our next event, just get your ticket, and then you'll find a way to get there. I'm just telling you, we can teach you on the inside as well. But connect with us. And if you're sitting here wondering what's below that button, click on it. Just click on it, get in, and look. I'll tell you this much. Currently, right now, I don't know what it's going to be exactly when you watch, depending when you're watching the replay, but right now it's February 29th, 2016. If you're anywhere in that time zone, and when you click on it, it's going to lead to some information, and it's about $7 to get in with us and just actually get connected with us. Just lift that right away. But the thing is, so many people are afraid to start, afraid to take a step, afraid to take action in their lives out of fear of the worst. I am telling you, you gotta stop. You gotta start planning for the best, because that's when things happen. And we like I said, we get into great detail of a lot of all that. But I want to, maybe some of your experiences of you guys going through some of the stuff that you've learned. How are you? What are the things that you do and plan for the best? Getting into, maybe audios, our community, everything. There's so much, and I know we all do it. But what are some of the things in some of your stories of how you plan for the worst versus planning for the best? I'm gonna, well, I'm gonna start out and I'm also gonna be checking on the page for anybody else's. If you're watching this in a replay and you've got an experience with this and you want to share your 2 cents, please, because we'll be all in community on this. So I'm gonna go look at the page and I'm gonna pull CJ up.
Hello, Miriam.
Hi, Miriam. Hey. Okay, let's
let's have Miriam say her hi and where she's from.
Yeah, we're gonna pull up Miriam. Hang on one sec. Miriam, come out.
Miriam.
Yeah.
Really quick, say where you're from.
Hi, I'm from West Palm Beach. My name is Miriam, and I'm also a stay-at-home mom. I am actually just very excited. I'm just celebrated my birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, so I'm really glad to be on.
Hi, Jasmine. Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull it back over to CJ. Go for it, CJ.
Hey. All right, I have to share something really funny with all of you. Val was talking about the bills, and I, in the past, was the same way. I used to struggle wondering, oh my God, how am I going to pay this? How am I going to do this? What am I going to do? Oh my God, there's a bill. Oh my God, like that was all I could think of was the bills. And now, when the bills come in, we usually pay them when they come in. But my husband and I somehow slipped, and we both missed the electric bill. And we got the shut-off notice in the mail that they were going to shut it off the next day by 5 p.m. if we did not pay it. And we both sat there laughing at each other because how did we miss this? Like, when you're not consciously there and you're not always worrying about where the funds are going to come or how you're going to pay for something or how it's going to be taken care of, you don't focus all of your time and your energy on the negative concepts of life. And we both just sat there laughing, and of course we instantly called the electric company and we paid for it. But we don't have credit cards. We don't live with credit cards. The only thing we live with is our debit cards and our checking accounts. That's all, because the credit cards, they bring a lot of negativity. They bring a lot of extra stress, needed stress that it's hard to live with when you always constantly have that in the back of your mind. Is how are you gonna pay for that? How is that gonna be covered? And when you're constantly thinking negative or putting yourself into that time zone, it's not going to change for you. It's always going to be that concept. And my second event, I did the manifestation thing. At my first event, I bought my tickets. I did everything that I needed to do. And then it was about a month away from the second event, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to get to this event? I have the tickets, but I have no airline. I have no hotel room. I have nothing. So I started manifestation, asking my questions, asking myself, visualizing myself there, imagining myself in the resort. I went online, I Googled the resort, I Googled images, and I made it. I made it to the mastermind. I made it to the event. This was in Las Vegas. This was actually the event that I met Sheila at. And it was, when you put yourself into that time, into that mindset, and into that thought process, you'll be amazed at what the universe will bring to you and how easily it will come into play for you. And when you connect by clicking on the button below, for 2 lattes, or coffees, whatever you drink, but for the cost of 2 lattes in a day, you can have access to the system that's given us the freedom to be to be home with our goofball children and just enjoy life and have fun. But once you connect with the individual, ask them about the audios that Val talks about. We all use them daily. There are daily audios that we listen to. A lot of us fall asleep to them. A lot of us wake up to them. During the day when you just need to gather yourself and bring yourself back to reality again, we use those audios. They're phenomenal. And they're with the system. You don't have to go hunting for them. They're given to you with the plan. And one of my reminders is my abundance tattoo. I remind myself every single day. So I had that done. You can do images on your cell phones. You can do I have a timer on my phone that goes off every day at 11:11 with a quote to remind me of why I'm here, what the purpose is, and what my reasoning is behind this. And it's more or less just retraining your thought process and retraining who you are in life and not allowing others to control who you are. I get up every day at 6 a.m., and that's because I choose to get up every day at 6 a.m. It's not because I have to. It's because I like getting up before the kids do and kind of and kind of having that mommy time, making my coffee, listening to an audio or reading a book, just a little bit of downtime for mommy, because I have that freedom to do that. I have the capability of getting up before they do, not having to get up and go, oh my goodness, I have to get them dressed. Oh my God, they don't have clean underwear. Oh, there's no clean pants. How am I going to get them dressed today? Sorry guys, let me just spray this down really quick because you're putting these clothes on today. Like, there's not that craziness of running around trying to get the kids out of house or going, oh, snacks, I forgot to buy snacks for your bag today for school. Oh no, we have to run to the grocery store before I take you to daycare or preschool or child drop you off with the school bus. Like, it doesn't happen anymore for us. And I've been there. I've been that mom that's thrown my kids in and out of a car as quickly as possible because I had to run in and buy them lunch because I was so preoccupied with work. I forgot that my kids didn't have anything for the lunch bag or snack bags. All three of them at one time were in school up until a year ago. Ricardo was in preschool, and Minnie and Armando were in public schools. So yes, I've been that craziness. I've been that mom that's had to iron uniforms. I've been the mom that's gotten up at 5 a.m. just to get me showered, dressed, makeup on, to take the kids to school, to come back home, to go to work. And it's not like we're not speaking from experience. We all have pattern interrupt. But we all have the craziness in our life, and as you can see, it's just a different level for us now. We have fun now. We enjoy it. It's a giggle fest for us now. It's not, leave me alone, I have to do this, or what are you doing? You're distracting me. I can't get this done with you hanging on me like this. No, it's a game. It's fun. You just laugh it off. And when I made this decision to join this freedom movement and to join this community of women and this lovely panel, I don't recommend doing what I did, but I would never take it back because I quit my job the same in one day. I called them in the morning and said I quit. And the next day, I reached out to my mentor and I joined the business because I believed in myself and I believed in who I was. I believed in the community and the support, and I knew that I was not going to be left alone, and I knew that as long as I followed the system and the steps that were laid out, I was going to be able to be successful. And I was going to be there for my family. I was going to be there for my kids. I was going to be there for other moms, other sisters, other dads, other individuals that want to just be free and live the life of travel, be able to share stories and experiences, and travel to amazing resorts. I mean, we're going to be at the Gaylord Opryland in Nashville. Google it. If you don't believe us how amazingly spectacular this place is, it's a city within a city. It's all indoors. It's tropical climate-controlled air. So
Waterfalls.
Yeah, waterfalls, light shows, palm trees that are in the middle of Nashville, and it looks like a French French streets, or I don't know, with the lights and the wrought iron. That's what it reminds me of, is a French walking through from some fancy French streets. But it's so peaceful, and you would never know that you're someplace else when you're inside this resort. And there's fish, there's pond fish. You can eat your meal while looking at the fish, and the fake, no, not fake, but the man-made rivers and streams and waterfalls and ponds that they have within this resort. And it's so big that we actually get lost. A lot of the people that stay there, that was the joke last year when we were there, is, help me find my room. This is where I am. Where do I go? Because the place is so massive.
It actually has its own zip code.
Exactly.
I was talking to the staff. I said, this place is so big, it's like it has its own zip code. As a matter of fact, it does. But by the way, for anybody that's watching this in the replay, because this might be put up on on a blog page or something. If you're watching this like a year from now, we do, we do get together every few months in a different community. So it might not be the Gaylord when you happen to be watching. Yeah. But as for now, we're getting together in Nashville in the end of April. So it's going to be an absolutely amazing event to really be able to teach people how to unleash their incredible power from within. So, it's part of
those blocks and those barriers that you think you have, because it's just, you think you have them, they're not there.
Yeah, that's just it, exactly. They're placed by the thoughts, they're placed by the fog. the thoughts and, you know, buying into
The smog.
The smog and the fog. Yeah,
the corporate smog.
Yeah, because the corporate smog. Because the corporate smog. Because it's not connected to reality. Those thoughts are not. I mean, you think your circumstances are what's real, but it's not. Your circumstances, and this may be an innovative thought for some of you, and for those of you that you know this might not be, but you haven't applied it. Okay, but you know your circumstances are actually only a reflection of the past. Your current physical circumstances are a reflection of your past thinking. It's what's manifest around you as a result of your past thinking. It's not your future. You know, it has absolutely no reflection on your future. All that, and the reality is, if you go inside, if you go into a feeling, this is going to get a little esoteric, but you know, imagine right now that you were a billionaire. Just if you can close your eyes right now, just imagine billionaire, if you can even allow yourself to fathom that. Like if you're Oprah, right? You know, and you're a billionaire, right? You're a billionaire right now. You're a billionaire. What would you do in this moment? What would be your plan? You know, you're sitting here right now. Okay, you haven't done anything. You're not anywhere. Just physically where you are sitting, wherever you happen to be sitting right this minute. Okay. The feeling of what does that feel like to go, wow, I'm a billionaire. I got at least $1 billion in the bank. Right? Now, your surroundings around you are almost irrelevant because you've got this feeling. It's sort of like we have the abundance. It's there. It's a feeling like if Oprah was sitting right next to you right now, right? Her situation would be no, you know, she's physically sitting right next to you, but she's a billionaire. You know, or you're a billionaire and you have that feeling of what that is inside, right? In the moment, all your needs are met. All your needs are met. You've got a roof, you know, you're covered. You've got your food. You've got everything. But when you start thinking about and everything that is ours, it's there in the invisible. It's all there in the invisible. It's like those invisible mountains. They're there. They're there. They've always been there. Your abundance is yours. It's a matter of what actions you're going to take. You're going to block yourself from it. And that's the shift. The shift is realizing that it's already there, and you just got to get out of your own damn way, honestly, to allow yourself to take the inspired actions. I had this great talk with somebody. I may even do a short video on this, but I was just saying, it's imagine, you know, you want a drink of water, okay, but it's sitting on a table across the street. But because it's so foggy and smoggy, you can't see the drink of water, a little jug of water sitting in a glass on a table across the street. Literally can't see it because of the smog and the fog. Can't see it, right? It's there. And so, you know, you're walking in circles, and you head over in this direction, you head over in that direction, you go in here and you go in there. No matter what action you take, you might stumble across it, but you're like stabbing in the dark because you can't see where it is, right? Well, when the fog lifts, you can see it. There it is across the street. And then there's actions that you take. What actions do I take to get that cup of water? Well, it's across the street. I can cross the street, stop, wait to look. Maybe there's a electronic. You wave at somebody going, "Hey, can you bring that over?" You know, I mean, there's like so many different ways you can go reach and get that cup of water. But then there's actions that you take when you can't even see what the actions are to go and cross the street to get that cup of water. You can't even see the actions, and the actions you're going to take. Or let's say it's at a table behind you. It's sitting in a table right behind you. But you turned a second ago, but you couldn't see it. Couldn't see it because the fog was in the way. And all of a sudden, you might get an instinct that says, turn around. It's right there. You might get an inspired action that's telling you to turn around, but you don't, because in the past you turned around and it wasn't there. You couldn't see it even though it was. It's right under your nose. But you couldn't see it because you had all these things blocking your view of where it is and what to do. So it's like, well, why would I turn around and walk in that direction when before when I turned around and walked, you know, there was nothing there. You couldn't see anything. Like you turned around and you didn't see it. So it's like we have all the time, we have inspired actions that are coming up from within us. We have our own wisdom. We're of what actions to take, but we don't listen to it because we can't see. Right? So and you start asking yourself, what actions do I take? The fog lifts, you start to see. Anyways, I'm going on. Oh, Lisanne! Yes! She's messaging me. I'm like asking me. I'm like, Lisanne, come join us. Lisanne, you want to come out and say hi and say where you're at? We got a really international group on, so you want to come out and say hi where you are?
Okay, hello there. So my name is Lisanne Friedemann and I'm from Holland. And today I got a new member, so I'm really excited. And because of that, I have a lot of questions right now.
So great. Welcome. Yeah, so we've got Holland, we've got Portugal, and we've got all across the States here. This is cool. So I'm gonna go on over to Irina.
Well, Valerie, I'm just feeling so inspired by you and by CJ and by all these ladies because I believe that who is watching us right now is just feeling so inspired as I am. I believe in that. You know, Valerie, when I was a lawyer and attorney, just like I said on the beginning of this hangout, I wasn't happy. I was frustrated. I wasn't seeing the mountains. I just was focused on feeling sorry about myself. I was just focused on the bad things, and on the bad energies, and I wasn't looking forward. I was just looking to myself and to all the bad things that was happening in my life. So the universe doesn't sleep at all because on October 2012, it was a magic month for me. I got pregnant and I was fired. That was amazing because it was my opportunity. It was an opportunity that the universe gave it to me. Yes, because I was feeling so sad, but on my heart, for some moments, I used to think that, wow, it has to be something in the world that I can do, some professional activity that I can do from home, that I could earn a lot of money, and I could travel the world and meet all these amazing people. I used to think about it. But instantly I was thinking just, oh no, that's not for me. I cannot do it. That's only for certain people. So on October 2012, as I said, I was fired and I was pregnant at that time. And that was an opportunity that the universe gave it to me to tell me, Irina, this is your moment. This is your turning point. Do you accept this opportunity? Do you accept to live the life of your dreams? Do you accept to live a different way? And I said, yes, this is my moment. I believe that I deserve to be happy. I believe that I deserve a life of abundance. But I was closed, really, I don't know the word in English, but I was feeling very close on my thoughts and on the life that I had in my past. So my circumstances were very limited because I was still focused on the things that I shouldn't do. And when I found this movement, I started to open my mind. I started to read. I started to listen to some audios. I started to go to these events, international events, which are great. We have the possibility to find people all over the world, amazing people, just that have the same vision for the future that we do. So I went to Charlotte. It was my first international event. I went from Portugal to Charlotte, and I went alone. It was on June 2014, and I it was on June, and I went to Charlotte. And when I got back, my flight was booked for the day before my son due 1 year. And that was the most difficult decision that I had to take on this business, because I had to go to the States to see the people, to meet the real people, to meet all these people that are behind this project. And I wanted to feel the energy. I wanted to feel if I was really at home. And wow, it was amazing, just amazing. I got back from US, and my business started to rise, because I unleashed all the limitations that I was putting into myself, and I released all the fears, and I started to believe in me. I started to believe in myself. I started to believe that yes, I can live an extraordinary life. I can live a life of abundance. That can take me 1 year, 2 years, 1 month, 2 months. I don't know how long it will take, but I will do whatever it takes to live the life that I deserve and to give that life to my family. So I started to read the books. I started to follow the instructions of the people that had the results that I wanted. I started to model successful people. I started to do meditation. And when I started to do some meditation, I started to see the mountains. The fog disappeared, and I found a new world that it was there, but I couldn't see him with clarity. Mm-hmm. So if you are listening to us, please click the button below, come into this community, to this movement, and just see for yourself. Just start to follow the steps, just connect with us, and you will see that we are real people, real moms, real women that just want the same as you, to be free and to be happy. So if I can do this, if I could do this, if members of my team here in Portugal can do it, you also can do it. I would love to give you an example, because I have a lady, a teammate here in Portugal. She is getting through a divorce. Actually, tomorrow she is getting the paper sign up, and she started this project with some doubts, with some fears. It's normal, because it's a different world, it's a different language. But she started. She took action. She believed in her dreams. She went to the last event on Orlando, and she was amazed. She also started to believe in herself and in this project. After we got home to Portugal, her business started to rise. So now you can see the importance of these events. And now she's passing through a difficult time, and she have the strength to go through these difficult times, because she's in this project, because she have this movement, because she's not alone, and because she have our support. And most important, she now believes in herself, and she now believes that she will have the life of her dreams, and she will build a life of abundance and prosperity to her and to their children, her children. So when you see people of your team to get results with this project, to change their lives with this project, to go through difficult stuff as a divorce, just feeling positive and just applying the things that we do here, wow, this is amazing. I just can tell you that click the button, try this project, because I know that it is the right thing for you, and I can give you a lot of examples that this, yes, it has results, and you can also have them if you work, obviously.
I love it. That's so powerful. That's so powerful, yeah. Just to be there, because life happens, right? And then it's a matter of, turning it into, you can turn something into the best thing that ever happened to you. And that's what we teach you how to do, which is really powerful. So, Lisanne, come on out for you. Our topic is Lisanne's hopping into the last second with us here. Yeah, our topic is, how do we preparing for abundance, preparing for success instead of preparing for the worst case scenario. So what are some of the tools or things that you do for preparing for success, being in that mindset?
Well, for me, it's, I think, really important to read books every day and listen to audios. And for me, I really love to listen to those audios, but sometimes the information goes a bit more quicker through my mind. So that's why I also prefer to read some books, because then I can read the chapter back, and then I can put it very good in my mind. So that is what I love to do, and especially before I go to bed. And for me, this is really helpful to create a perfect mindset, because then you believe, and you trust yourself, and you trust the journey that everything is possible, and that's really what I love to do.
I love it. Can you suggest what's one of your favorite books that you've read recently that you might be able to suggest to people?
I really love The Secret,
Yeah.
The Secret, and the one You Were Born Rich.
Yeah, doctor. Yeah.
Yes, and because in there you read that everyone is the same, and that you really need to find the power in yourself, and just do the things what you love to do, because everything is just possible, and you just need to do it and believe it will work out. So that's powerful to read. Yeah.
Love that. I love that. And yeah, and then with us, with what we do is we could literally take something that you've read and apply it in action into what it is that we do. Take that inspiration, put it into action, and be able to get, actually make money by talking about things that you learn in the books. That's the goofy part, is it all comes
Indeed.
together in one big piece with us, which is kind of cool. Do personal development, share what you learn, and actually make money doing that. Miriam, are you available? Oh, such a cute picture. Miriam, are you available to come out?
Hi.
If not, I can. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi. Yeah. Definitely one of the main things that helps me have a more positive mindset so that I could be strong enough to get through even my daily life and my online business is mindset, and I use lots of audios. Um, I just feel like when I'm hearing someone speak to me of, positive words and speak life into me, almost, but even though it's recorded, I'm listening to it. It just helps me to have a stronger mindset to do what I need to do to get through the day. I used to listen to audios about once a day, and I started listening it to twice a day, about like first thing in the morning and also before I end my day, because it's just when I start my day off with something positive to listen to, I'm kind of prepared to get through the day, to charge through the day, to face whatever comes my way, because life happens, and from one moment to the next something can possibly upset you, and just being able to handle it better. And then I just get through the day better and easier. Sometimes I kind of have to sneak in a couple audios throughout the day, even once or twice more, even if it's like 5 or 10 minutes worth of it, just to like listen to something positive. And when I listen to something like an audio at the end of the day, I I usually feel like, okay, my day is complete, and I'm going to sleep better. Like, it's just something I look forward to, basically. I feel like it's something I look forward to. And really, I used to read more, to be honest. I used to read more before. I've lately haven't been so good at reading because I admit I'm just a little bit lazy on that area, but I got to get better. I really have to. but I really like recommend one book that I do have. It's called 10 Secrets for Success and Inner Peace. It's by Wayne Dyer, and he talks a lot about a positive mindset, a lot about it, and in meditation as well. So like when you're able to center yourself and seek peace within, and you take time to do that, you're able to just kind of align yourself with your spirit and be one with the moment. And so when you're complete with that meditation, you can kind of move on through your day with a more peaceful mindset, more positive mindset, and just kind of like uh, just continue on more positive. It's kind of
I could go in more detail, but I need to read the book, to be honest. I just got it anyway. But but yeah, so I that's how I feel, and it's something that it's like a muscle. You got to build it, you got to strengthen it, and you exercise it every day, and then you just get better and better. So I'm still working on it. I got to be transparent. That's my honesty. You know, I'm still working on it, but it's helped me a great deal. So.
Yeah, and that's great, and it's a powerful thing. And some people are more visual, like Lisanne. It sounds like you're very visual.
Yeah.
When you read it, and some people are more auditory, right? Things will go in, and some people a little bit of both. So that's why recommend both. For some people, they're not visual, but you can get books on audio. You can listen to the books as well. For people that they're not visual learners, they're auditory learners. You can get the book and listen to the book. So you're getting the content of the book. Another thing too, you can always get audios and listen to them that way as well. So there's but again, because we don't know and everybody's different, that's why it's some of the things that we recommend. And let's see here. I am going to go on over to Sheila. Come on out, Sheila.
Okay. The only thing, I guess, for me, when you plan for abundance, the biggest thing, we talked a lot about mindset and everything. And one of the things I've learned from one of the mentors is when we have that negative tape going through our head, you know, the one that says you're stupid, you're dumb, you're fat, you're ugly, you'll never amount to anything, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done... It's all that negativity going over and over and over in your head. The best thing you need to do is actually hit eject. Get that out of your head altogether. I don't care what you have to do it, but get it out of your head and start a new tape. The one that says, I love you, you will have abundance, you are amazing, you are smart, you are capable, you can do this. It's just one that is so important. It's all about mindset and how you acquire things and how you look at things. I can give you an example. In 1999, January, I was involved in a massive head-on car collision. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks and the nursing home for 6. I walked out of the nursing home still on crutches for weeks. And a month after that, I found out I was pregnant. So walking into a doctor's office on crutches, finding out you're pregnant, you can't work yet because you're still on crutches, what are you going to do? I had to change my mindset and thinking, oh God, what else can happen to me? What else can I go through right now? I'm going to be a single mom on crutches. I don't have a job. I don't have any of this. I had to flip my mindset and say, wow, God knows I'm strong because I have this little precious gift inside of me that I need to take care of. I will take care of this child. I will be amazing, and I can do this. And I did just fine. And you just have to change your mindset to think that you're going to be okay. You can do this. What you feed will flourish. What you starve will die. So if you're feeding all that negativity, you'll never change where you're at in your life. If you starve that negativity and start feeding and flourishing the good, the positive, and all the wonderful sisters around you that are willing to help you and be there for you, you will do amazing things. That's what I've got to say.
Wow. That's powerful. And making that decision, and just deciding, making the decision. If you're still watching us here, this is something about you. That this is resonating with you, and that this is something that it's your life. You can do this, and it's making that shift. And one thing about say with meditation is, and I used to think the meditation was about clearing your mind, and it's actually quite different. True deep meditation is about focusing on the truth of the abundance, the truth of who you really are, and that it's really already yours. The awareness of feeling into that joy and that gratitude it's already there. The joy for the mountains, feeling it starts here, where you feel the abundance first, and then you ask yourself, how do I do it? What do I do? Right? And it's like, what actions do I take? You feel the abundance first, and then actions. What do I take? What are the actions that I take? And the answers will come. The answers will be there. You will have, when you ask yourself, what can I do? right? Or, telling you, you're saying, I can do this. It's already mine. I can, like that's just so powerful. Sheila is saying, I've got, I've got this little being, and what can I do? Instead of talking about what else could go wrong, it's like, what can I do right? And the thoughts, the negative thoughts, by the way, they're not. I used to think that they were my thoughts because they crossed my mind, right? But I'm not even my mind. We are these incredible beings. Our mind and our bodies are inside of us, right? But we are not our minds. We are actually not our thoughts even. The thoughts are thoughts that are out there. All the negative thoughts, they're like waves, and they're just sitting out there, and you can just literally choose to go, well, that's an interesting thought, and literally like a cloud, let it float on by. Just because a thought crosses your mind doesn't mean that you need to take it in and give it a home. And I did that for years. I took in thoughts. I didn't even know where they came from. They could have come from my, from my family, from my environment. They could have been just something I picked up from the ethers, literally. I used to think they were mine, but they're not. They're just thoughts. And you can, like, I don't know, who ever did your mom ever say to you, don't pick that up, you don't know where it's been?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, don't pick that. I don't know if in Europe that's a thing. Yeah. Don't pick that up. Like, you tell a child, don't pick that up, you don't know where it's been, right?
Don't put your fingers in your mouth. You don't know what you've touched.
Yeah. Don't pick up that thought. You don't know where it's been. So if a thought crosses and there's a negative feeling connected to it, anything other than saying that you're wonderful, you're brilliant, you're amazing, that you have abundance, not that you're going to get abundance. This is the thing. You have it. It's already yours. And there's just a matter of what actions you're going to take. Like, I'll give you an example. There's a guy that's a very successful restaurateur in Los Angeles, and when he was flat broke, he just knew he was a successful restaurateur. That's what he wanted to do. How did you know? I just knew. And then I just listened to my gut that said to take this action, this action, this action. So if you're here watching us and you're here watching something about abundance, something about you knows that this is an action for you to take. So, we're going to say, click the button, come join us, and we'll be on the inside. We'll guide you in all the stuff that we do. But when the negative thoughts cross, because it's just not about not having negative thoughts, because they're floating out there. They're going to cross your mind. The difference is whether or not you latch onto them and go, or get angry at yourself for having the negative thought. That's the thing. I used to, I'm doing all this reading, and I'm doing all this meditating, and I'm listening to these audios. I should know better. What am I doing having these negative thoughts? Which, of course, is a negative spiral, which then shuts down everything. The pineal gland shut down, everything shut down. Instead, I'd shift and go, you know what? I just noticed that there was a negative thought. I've stopped even saying I have. I've just noticed that there was a negative thought. I just noticed it. That's something to celebrate. Celebrating the fact that you notice it. Most people don't even notice. The thought happens, right? They take it in, they give it a nice little home and feed it and stuff, and it's there, and the emotions, negative emotion, excuse me, and then they're acting on it. And the mere fact that you can even notice a negative thought, because after watching this, you can't help it. You're going to start noticing. And that's okay. It's a good thing. As you're noticing the negative thoughts, get excited for yourself, because who the heck is doing the noticing? Your powerful, abundant, real self. The truth of who you really are. That's who's noticing those thoughts. And you can't notice the thought unless you're separated from it. So give yourself a massive celebration, pat on the back, big hug, jump up, cheer, something that you have noticed a negative thought. And then you can just go, okay, and you can let it float on by. And adjust, like she said, flip and adjust to something. See yourself, feel yourself having achieved what your dreams, whatever it is, your specific thing that you're focusing on. Go into the meditation, listen to an audio, do something, anything to shift into the awareness of that we are these incredible, powerful beings. If you're watching this, it means you're powerful. If you're watching this, that means you're amazing. If you're watching this, that means the abundance is already yours. If you're watching this, that means that you're actually connected with this already. You just haven't taken the action yet. But it means that you have all of it all within you. And it's just time to just Ask yourself, what actions do I need to take to get that cup of water across the street? Right under your nose, right? Simple steps. So on that, those of you that haven't already gotten your ticket to the event, get it and let us know. Those of you that are in our community, and those of you that have just decided that this is it, I'm going to go check this out. Give us a shout out and come and connect with us on the inside. And you never know, very soon you might be on here with us, actually making money talking about the stuff that matters to you. So. Anybody, any other last thoughts? Because we've been on for a little over an hour. And
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Absolutely.
It's more or less. It's not really a thought. It's just to help our viewers. Whenever you hear about a book or something that we speak of that we like to read, this is just a reminder, a little friendly reminder. Don't forget about your local libraries. A lot of the libraries will carry these books that we're speaking of, and if you are not a huge reader, but you do like the audio concept or being able to listen to a book while you're at work, driving in the car, or at night, and you can't find it on the internet, all public library systems now offer audiobooks through your smartphones and tablets and computers. Just go to your local library, ask them how to get set up. It is free. It's part of your library card. It comes with your library card to register and set up. Just ask them how to do it, what their program is, and how to get set up and assigned for their audiobooks, because I do it all the time. I would show you mine. I don't want you to think that it's going to be available for all libraries, so that's what I'm saying. Go to your local public library, the one for your address, the zone that you're in, and they'll walk you through it and they'll help you, and it's phenomenal. They're free. I just take out my library card, I look for a book that I want to read, and check it out, and you have it for 14 days.
Love it. Perfect. That's great.
So no limitations. There's always a way.
There's always a way. Ask yourself how you can, right? How can I? And and by the way, just so you know, you don't have to quit your job in order to do this. People started doing this part-time. They started doing it because you can do it. You can do it whenever. You can do it, at night. You can do it when your kids are sleeping. You can do it a lot of different stuff. But you can do this part-time, and eventually, if that's what you want to do, you can retire yourself.
And that's why we say listen to the audios.
Yeah, and those of you that are like thinking about just something else, and again, income disclaimer at the bottom of our page. But I mean, for me, my first $3,000 day happened at an event, and by the way, that's possible. Just so you know, in terms of numbers of what it is that we do, this is actually for your dream is big enough for us. We have 6- and 7-figure earners in our community, and you could be the next one with us. Even starting this part-time. So look forward to connecting with you. We will be back on this page 2 weeks from now. When this is over, I'll put the date. But we'll also, like I said, next Monday we have the Mom Freedompreneurs, and you can connect with us to connect to that page. Just like I said, connect with us on the inside, and we'll plug you into that for next week. And so excited for you to see you on the other side, inside the community, and we'll be talking on the other side. And comment on the page. We'll be all part together, even if you're watching this in the replay. Talk to you soon.